Now, our special guest today is part of one of the biggest boy bands around, The Wanted. They've enjoyed gold and platinum singles on both sides of the Atlantic, as well as playing to thousands of fans all over the world. Please welcome to Saturday Kitchen, it's Tom Parker! Good job on the show, Tom. Now, I know you're a bit of a foodie as well.
Yeah, I love it.
Normally the band's with you. You don't often do stuff on your own.
No, it's the first time.
You're driven yourself here as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, a bit of a foodie. I've seen you, you know, you're into your kitchen as well.
Yeah, I love it.
Doing quite a lot.
Yeah.
But it's been busy time for you as well recently. You've just finished the, big tour.
Yeah, it's like a 10-week tour.
So you've all got basically time off to do your own things then?
Essentially, yeah, family time.
Sounds
friends.
pretty good.
So, yeah, it's been 4 pretty intense years.
So instead of cooking, you're here for your own breakfast, is that
exactly.
right? Right. Now, of course, at the end of today's programme, I'll actually cook food heaven or food hell for Tom. It's going to be something based on your favourite ingredient, food heaven, or your nightmare ingredient, food hell.
Yeah.
It's up to our chefs and some of our viewers to decide which one you're going to get. So food heaven, what will it be?
It's raspberries.
Right. Any particular reason, or just...
I like them. They're fresh.
OK. Sounds good to me. And what about the dreaded food hell?
Salmon.
Right.
Not a massive fish lover. Like certain types. I tried sea bass for the first time the other day. I loved it.
OK, there you go. So there you go. It's raspberries or salmon for food heaven. I've got a delicious dessert in mind. The raspberries are used in layers of homemade puff pastry along with piped pastry cream, served with a dusting of ice and sugar and some raspberry sauce on the side. How does that sound? And
lovely.
You like that one?
Yeah.
Or Tom can be facing food hell, salmon. I'm going to have to make my take on a Scandinavian classic, gravlax, because I know you don't like cured or spicy things like that. The fish is cured in salt, sugar, plenty of herbs, and then thinly sliced to go with a homemade mustard mayonnaise and dressed salad made with some hazelnut vinegar, honey and shallots. But you have to wait to the end of the show to find out which one is going to get. Now, if you'd like to ask a question for any of our chefs today, then you can do that by calling this number. That's 0330 123 1410. That's 0330 123 1410. And a few of you to put your questions to us live a little later on. And if I do get to speak to you, then I'm asking you whether you want Tom to face food heaven or food hell. Now, you say, feeling hungry?
Definitely.
Definitely, as this man is the perfect dish for us.
Yes.
Right, let's get cooking. And starting off, we go.
There we go.
And you mentioned the fact that it's vegetarian. You can lose the Worcester sauce if you wanted to, but and make it purely, strictly vegetarian. There you go. But
he's diving in, though, isn't he?
yeah,
It's amazing.
it's packed full of flavour.
Yeah, it is, and it's a perfect starter as well. You know, because for me, a starter should be fresh and excite the palate, and I think it's a great dish. You know.
Yeah,
So much flavour from that.
It is incredible.
So good.
Yeah. Just blend it up with a little bit of salt, nothing else really. Just leave it as it is.
Yeah.
There you go. Right, we need some wine to go with this. Our wine expert Susie Barrows has been down to London Wine Fair this week. So what did you choose to go with? Tom's Tasty Toms. It is quite unusual, this one, but when you have it on its own,
Yeah.
not convinced, but with that, it works fantastic.
Yeah, because it's really dry, and that's obviously so sweet from the tomatoes and the basil. I think it has to be taken together, but...
Yeah, but that's what it's supposed to be.
Combo,
Exactly.
yeah.
What do you think?
I'm still thinking heartburn for me.
But it is quite unusual on its own. It is dry.
Yeah.
Yeah. But with this, I think it works perfectly well. That's if you have any left, because Tom's eaten
Yeah,
it all.
Tom's
But anyway,
going down.
it's not bad, that one. There you go. Happy?
Yeah, it's nice.
There you go. Coming up, Bobby has an Asian chicken dish to show us that really is fantastic. Remind us what it is again.
A caramel chicken with lemongrass in a clay pot.
And that's what it is. You're going to do it with smoky aubergines as well.
Smoky aubergines
That's
with
what
it.
it is. And don't forget, you could ask these two a question if you call this number. That's 0330 123 1410. That's 0330 123 1410. Standard call charges do apply, of course. Right, it's time for another fishy tale from Mr. Rick Stein. Now, we're looking back at one of his classic TV shows from about 20-odd years ago. He's starting off at a fish market in Peterhead in Scotland, and he's looking for something very ugly called a wolffish. Enjoy this one. But we've got a great quality British piece of ham here, and we're going to do that with a nice little rapeseed oil mayonnaise, and then do this with a Lincolnshire poacher cheese. Now, these are like croquetas, which you have at little tapas bars in Spain. Yeah. They're fantastic. You start off with this by making a white sauce. Now, the difference between a normal bechamel and this is a lot more flour. Normally, you'd have roughly equal quantities butter to flour, but with this one, you have a lot more. So you throw in the butter first, get that melted. Now, you can see straight away the amount of flour that you're going to put in here doesn't really create a roux. Basically, you're just going to throw all that in, which thickens the entire mixture up really, well, really tight, really, and really thick. And then we're going to throw in the milk. Cold milk to start off with. A little bit to start, otherwise it goes lumpy. And keep it on the heat like that. And it will thicken up into this sort of big wallpaper paste consistency, really, to start with. Just add a little bit at a time, mixing it all together. Now, these are the classic sort of things you have in tapas bars in Spain. And they fill with a variety of different things, but some people put a little bit of serrano ham in there, But the combination of the Lincolnshire poacher cheese, which is fantastic. I don't know if you ever tried this, Tom.
Fantastic cheddar, isn't it?
Well, it's like a cheddar-style cheese, they say. It's not really a cheddar, is it? But it really is delicious. But it's called a Lincolnshire poacher. But that one and this ham as well is delicious. But there's obviously so many hams that you can get around the UK at the moment. So as you can see, it's going to get a little bit lumpy, but you keep it on the heat, and it'll actually come back together again. So keep it mixing. Swap this over now.
You made a roux before, Tom? You made a roux or a white sauce? What he's making there?
Never.
No?
No.
He makes quite a lot of stuff, though, because, you know, I mean, Tom, you're pretty good at this game, but social media, I'm new to this Twitter, like, you see.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're a master at it, aren't you, really?
Yeah, we've used it pretty much for our whole career. That's where it kind of started for us, like social media, so we kind of have to be good at it.
Because I kind of get... You'd have to teach me, because I kind of get bored.
Yeah.
And I don't know what to say, really. Because, you know, predominantly my life is actually quite boring. You know, yesterday... People think I do glam stuff. It's not, you know, you go all over. You've just come back from Chester yesterday. You were DJing and stuff like that. Me, yesterday, I was picking up dog muck in my garden. I can't tweet that, you know.
People are interested, you'd be surprised.
No, they're not, trust me.
There's a fan base for that.
No, yes. So you know about it, not me. But you're saying that's what... I mean, I suppose that helps you globally, really, as well as anything else, because your fans keep in touch with you.
Yeah, obviously you can't be everywhere at once, so, yeah, you do kind of keep in contact with the world, essentially. But it's been good for us, really has. It's stressful at times, because obviously people want you all around the world, and you can't be everywhere at once.
But you kind of imagined, you know, literally when you rolled up at that audition, what was it, 2004?
2009.
2004, but wasn't that X Factor you turned up at?
Oh, yeah, I did that first. It was a disaster, to say the least.
But you say it was a disaster. They said, no, you didn't even get through to the buzzer round. That was
nothing, no. But I think it was for the best. Although at the time I didn't think so. I was like, am I rubbish? I think I might be rubbish at singing. Not with confidence for a while, but yeah, I got back on the singing.
But then you went back to university. You studied geography.
Geography for a while, yeah.
And you know, got back into the music thing. But music was always, you know, unlike a lot of people in boy bands, they don't really play music as in instruments. I mean, you play the guitar, you play the piano, and you write your own stuff as well.
Yeah, I think people have still got the perception of like boy bands, a bit like, oh, you know, white linen suits and standing there doing air grabs. It's like, I think times have changed a little bit. Air grabs. Oh, right. Come on, we've got it.
I learnt a new thing today, hashtag.
Air grab.
Oh, yeah, air grab and hashtag, that's the thing I've learnt today. Yeah.
But yeah, we like to get involved in the writing. I mean, on the first album, it was very much directed by the label. We were all still very new to it in the studio, but you learn.
But how did the band set up then? Because you were in X Factor. It wasn't that kind of audition. It was. Yeah. Why don't you tell us how it started?
Yeah, we got put together by Universal. It was like a 9-month process.
Right.
Pretty intense. They saw probably like 4,000 people. So a bit like X Factor, just kind of behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had to do singing and dancing, which...
Air grabs.
Yeah, my dancing is not up to scratch, to say the least.
Nor is mine, buddy.
So yeah, then obviously we got put in the band, and it was really quick when we got put in. It was like 8 months. So once we got put in, it was just write the album, record. Then we had the first single, and that went to #1, which I don't think people were expecting. We weren't expecting it, because we had some pretty stiff competition that week.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was cool. It's been,
but to break America, there aren't many bands.
Yeah.
I mean, there's probably you and One Direction at the moment that break Coldplay and bits and pieces, but that break America big like you've done. I mean, that takes an awful lot of work. Was it because you did it in conjunction with doing a massive PR tour at the same time as the album? You got that reality show as well, you see.
Yeah.
What was that like?
Intense, really intense, but it was good. Like we had a lot of fun. We got to live in an amazing house, top of the hills. So yeah, it was cool, but I mean, the thing is that everything's so like just on a much grander scale over there. So you're having to travel far and wide just to promote one single.
Yeah.
But it's cool. Like we've had a lot of fun. But,
so what's next for you then, really? Because the bands, you've not split. You're on doing your own bits and pieces at the moment.
Yeah.
Because that's because you were. I mean, last year and this year was massively intense global tour as well. So you're having a bit of a break. What does life entail for you then? What's next?